everybody, and welcome back to the Rockin' Beards podcast. I know what number it is this week. It's 31.
Are you sure?
Yes, it
Good
is.
for you.
He's right,
That's right.
He's
Okay.
hooked on phonics.
That's what's up. So, anyway, it's your boy HSR, and joining me is the full squad. We got...
It's you first, always.
Always me first. Me
That's
first,
for
yeah. I'm Syd from the Sydney channel.
Not the Disney
It's
Channel.
the first time I've actually said that, so...
I wasn't expecting that reaction. Okay, Jay.
I'm Syd from the Disney channel.
That's
Sydney.
Jay. We're moving on.
I'm Jay. You can follow me on everything.
Okay, we'll have information below.
I'll
and
give you his
included,
address.
Hold on, included in that, I'm going to promo myself for a
Call
quick
me
minute.
on the hotline.
Shut up, Jay. I released an album yesterday, and I'm pretty fucking happy about that. So y'all can cop it on Bandcamp, and you can find the link in the below, and we'll have some live stuff to show you later.
And if you go on
Sid-
the live stuff, Sid
I was there
on
too.
Sid
Yeah,
was
it
involved,
was
so
fun.
if I'm a little tired and out of it, and
I'll
maybe
bother him.
we were just kind of doing that yesterday, so, energy's not at 100,
I was
but...
exploring my sexuality.
Okay.
Jay was watching porn.
Jay's like, I'm going to get this
I was doing that
episode
before.
flagged because it's Miley Cyrus. That's what we're talking about today. She's younger now.
She's older now.
Well, no. we're gonna get there. I don't know.
So the album's called Younger Now.
Yo, listen, I said that in a pun. I thought it was
Yeah, it
clever.
was really bad.
Time is linear. She is
so-
older.
The actual cover of this. Come on, guys.
Are we jumping on the cover right
Oh, we're
away?
jumping on the
Yeah.
cover, yeah.
No, screw that. Before that, y'all listened to Miley before? It's good to set the context,
Okay.
Jay.
It's Miley. The only way I've known her is because of the Disney Channel.
Hey, I go first. You
Okay,
said
so
this.
the Hannah Montana, there you go. And her dad is, her dad's
Billy
name?
Ray.
Billy Ray.
Don't break my heart.
My achy, breaky heart. Please. Anyway.
Something, country, whatever.
Understand. So yeah, I never watched Hannah Montana because
You're a liar.
no, I didn't.
He did.
I did work at the video store when he came out, and there was this
It's a video store, though.
the Super Club Videotron. It's
You
a
worked
local
there?
chain.
Damn.
I could see
I
that.
worked there for
Blast from the
3
past.
years, so like I was like involved when her like movies getting released. I worked at the La Senza distribution center while La Senza girl was getting a whole bunch of Hannah Montana crap, but I never really watched the show because I was like 18.
I don't know how I feel about you handling panties and stuff.
Oh, it was definitely
Glorious.
a desensitizing experience.
All right, then.
It's true. But then like
We're having a good
I
time.
never then she came out with like her Miley Cyrus stuff, and
She was okay in the first time, like Party in the USA.
I hated Party in the
I
USA
enjoyed
personally
it.
because you know what, it's like as we saw
It's a
last
banger.
week, this radio algorithm music is not necessarily my favorite, and she played that game for a
This
minute.
whole CD is basically that.
We'll get there, but then then like she came out with the whole slutty stuff, and honestly, I had no issue with it. I thought that it was bold. I thought whatever. She
The
just
best
playing
picture
that
of
angle.
that whole scene is basically that whole sluttiness there's a meme of the Smith children just looking at it with her father, and they're so disgusted, and that's how everybody felt about it because she
I
just
feel
tried
like that.
she went too far, but
Fuck,
not
I
too
don't
far.
agree,
She
man.
tried too far.
I feel like this girl was trying to figure out some sense of identity. If you listen to her music, she was clearly going through things and dealing with things, and she was just kind of
Oh, I'm so
acting out
sorry that you have
artistically
so
in
much
her own
money.
way.
And then you're a
Yeah,
star.
It's not that simple. Like I think that like
so sorry.
it was not exactly the way people made fun of it, and her music to me was never my favorite. In fact, I find her
Like a wrecking
well, that's it.
ball.
In my opinion, Miley Cyrus has always made really excellent bland party music. But, like, it's totally good if you're into bland, like what I call bland, like that low energy, that, like, fade or, like, you're super faded, can
Yeah.
barely move kind of music. But I'm not really into the sounds she messes with. But then, like, when you heard her on features and stuff, she always killed it. I really liked her.
She's very
like
talented.
that Mike Will Made It song 23, and she has that whole rap verse and the
Is
chorus.
that
And
the, I'm getting high in the club
Yeah.
with my J's on.
it's like it's fucking fly.
That one cracked me up.
You know what? It's like she's
I
just
liked it because of Juicy
like
J.
I like her because
Yeah.
she's real.
Juicy J.
You know Juicy J probably banged that.
I don't care if he did.
I do.
I
'cause
mean,
I love Juicy J.
I know.
My thing about Miley is it's always felt
Shit, I forgot
like
here.
a whole team, but like really obviously like a whole team. So like Party in the USA came out when I was like 19
I love that
years
you're
old.
saying that she's a whole team because
and-
I'm picturing her getting railed by
Okay,
a whole
relax.
team.
Fair enough.
Let's
when I
not
was like,
focus on that anymore in the
I can't
podcast.
promise
We
you
got
that.
past that.
yeah.
Stop.
So I never watched Hannah Montana. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Party in the USA came out when I was like party age, like hanging out with a bunch of college kids, just going out to bars and clubs every night and going to house parties on the weekend or whatever. So that was that jam for me, and that was like always came on at like 12, 1 o'clock when everyone was like a little turnt. And so yeah, that was like a turn up song. And then she came out with this whole like, oh my god, I'm a punk rock queen, and everyone was like, she's counterculture and she's sticking it to the man. And I'm just watching this like she's literally teaching young girls to like do MDMA and twerk and like wear skin tight leotards and like this is your counterculture, like this is your rebellion. And that really made me angry because that's not what punk rock was about. First off, that's not what counterculture is about, and that's not what rebellion is about. So I stayed away from the music. I just recently discovered her last album, which is a fucking shroom trip and a half.
Look, all I gotta say to that is, it's an interesting reflection on how the culture, and how like the culture kind of evolved almost. I'm not saying that it's the purity of it or anymore, but I think Miley Cyrus is an honest reflection of a lot of young people.
I think she is, but I think what bothered me about it most is that it really felt like a team of old men making her do this, and then her not making her do this, like kind of feeding into what she was, because she had no idea what she was doing.
No,
she was 21.
She got paid.
She was an adult. She was rich. All of a sudden, she's discovering celebrities that are giving her drugs. They're giving her parties up the yin yang. They're letting her do whatever the fuck she wants.
She's now hanging out with Juicy J.
That's it, and now she's got a name, and she can kind of broadcast herself. But
to the future.
No,
she's
hold on.
Liam Neeson.
And it's almost formulaic, the breakaway from Disney formula that like goes
exactly.
on.
I mean, they all Lindsay Lohan went through it,
and she was part of the cycle.
The only difference is that her team funded her and promoted her as such, whereas all the other former stars and starlets like fucking Aaron Carter and all these kids that got ruined by doing this, they didn't have the label backing and the management backing and the firm backing because it was like taboo or whatever to fall apart, and she kind of fell apart on a business plan.
But she also kind of popped out at the time where hip hop made that thing cool.
It's true. I don't think that makes it right.
I know. I'm agreeing with you, but I don't. I agree that there are a lot of people behind Miley Cyrus who probably were pushing an image on her. But I get where she, my point of view, she was never bad, is really what I want to establish. She was never interesting, but she was never bad.
That's it. The image always felt like it was trying to be more interesting than it was.
Right.
And
then, unfortunately, people make a big noise anytime anybody sticks their tongue out and maybe rubs themselves somewhere. And, honestly, I would watch stuff. I like Wrecking Ball. I even like the video. Honestly, if you look at the artistic measures of what she was trying to do, it's like, wow, that is really swell. And it's a great pop song. And, I don't care. It's plussed on my Spotify. I sing that stuff every now and again. It's really good.
You can catch him doing Wrecking Ball karaoke coming soon.
Catch me on the outside duh.
Okay. Hashtag HSR.
Jay's like, okay, can we move on?
No, because we were pretty much going in a circle. I'd like to know what you guys thought about the album cover.
You catch me outside.
See, the album cover is totally trend hopping to me in a different way. Another theme we've seen this year is retro 80s covers, and maybe not in the rock, but I've seen 4 or 5 rap albums drop covers like that this year.
Okay.
And maybe it's not 80s, but this retro old feeling, she's trying to pay homage or throw back to an earlier time. And trying to set the theme. This is what my new album's about.
I feel like that's what a lot of this record is. There's a lot of her trying to kind of abandon her last 6 years or so. Kind of trying to be that wasn't me. This is me. I'm actually.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Look, we'll get into it later when we actually get to the specific songs. But I mean, this is a very 50s. She's got the greaser look, and she's got the leather pants and those Elvis kind of Elvis design going on.
I knew it wasn't 80s when I said that.
No, it is not 80s at all. It's a very diner look, very 50s, 60s.
Very country pop.
Very neon, a lot of pink and green and shit.
It's like the 80s throwing back to the 50s.
Exactly, like BoJack.
Yeah.
But and now I forgot what I was saying.
So I thought it was pretty cool because it looked like Elvis. Yeah.
So the same thing.
I like it because it kind of it's like old country. I feel like it's the female version of Elvis meets Dolly Parton.
I look at this and honestly my first reaction to this album cover is I am not going to like this music. Now
the first reaction of me I had on this cover was looking at her butt.
I didn't even care about her so much as I said, "Oh, Miley's doing it." And then I honestly younger now actually piqued my interest because I want to hear the metamorphized redemption Miley Cyrus, the person who's come back, you know?
Yeah, I want to hear the adult Miley Cyrus.
Because we just got that with Kesha, and it was excellent. Like, it really was excellent.
Yeah,
and this is basically Miley's version of that. Not to say to, like, compare them directly, but just in like, uniquely, completely different contexts. They're almost gotten to the same place this year with their music careers in very separate trajectories.
Yeah, in a way, I guess.
I agree.
Sorry. And,
they grew up, yeah.
well, it's not just growing up. It's more...
They came out of this image of, like, kind of being manufactured in a way and kind of falling apart publicly. Being used by male record executives.
So basically, they've matured from the slutty teenager into the young, mature woman.
Yeah, but no, I think it's
they're they're trying to distance themselves from the scene. Whereas someone like Lady Gaga has always been an artist, right? Lady Gaga has always kind of done her own thing. Like, however you feel about her, I love Lady Gaga.
No, I'm not talking bad about her.
But just to touch back on what you were saying, they went from having a complete team behind them, pushing an image on them, not having control over their image. It was more like they were following the trend of what was going to pay them.
Exactly.
In both their cases. And then in this album, I'm going to say that they've both taken back some level of control and are trying to do what they want to do.
Okay, so you guys are both right in your opinions. The way I see it, to make it dumbed down and easier to say, is when they first started off, they had all these people telling them. But now that they have the fame, the power, they've said, hey, I don't need you as much. I want to do this now.
I think that's what it is in Kesha's case. I think in Miley's case, it's a little more like her head is now back on her shoulders.
Because she has a relationship now that she's in love with the Hemsworth.
She's probably not as high all the time.
Well, she's probably
she quit. Anyway,
let's go into it.
I don't believe her.
Younger now.
Yeah, so she's younger now at 24 years old. So
younger now.
Woo. All right, I was like 24, I think, when I got my shit together and started thinking differently and like gave up on my older shenanigans and started realizing it. So the first thing I noticed is how much I connected to that part of my life and where she's at, and I was like, damn, it's maybe not the greatest lyrically, unfortunately. There's some very lazy bars in this, like I was dreaming or now I'm awake, or maybe it's the other order. But then it kind of picks up. It does get better. And the entire premise of this song is almost like... it's almost like you get this sense that she's younger now because she's finally like gotten rid of all these burdens of trying to age quickly and do all of these things. And she's for the first time trying to like act her age and figure shit out. And I was like, okay, that's a cool context. I get where you're coming from. I can even almost relate to the feeling. Like, this girl was living like a 30-year-old at like 17.
Yeah.
And
trying to live that like baller lifestyle, like I'm a superstar, I've made it, I'm on my shit.
And even younger,
you know what I mean?
Like even younger, if a TV actor, she's always worked.
She was famous.
She's never been able to just like sit there and live.
Think about it. She came like her dad's like country royalty.
Yeah.
And then her godmother's freaking Dolly Parton. So she's like, like she's been given the keys. Like if she starts making only country pop albums, she's going to be the biggest thing in music, in country music, as, like, don't get me wrong. So if you want to shoot me, it's me who's saying this. Just remember that, YouTube viewers.
I don't know anything about country. So
legalize sensu beans.
Yeah, that's the J tag here. What I'm trying to say is, Free ABBA is, she's probably going to be the next Willie Nelson.
Okay.
If she keeps in this path. If she decides, but I feel like I feel like she's going to start doing is, she's going to be releasing albums. I don't think, obviously, as well. But she's going to be releasing country and punk and pop. I think she's going to
play with genres and evolve as an artist.
But I think in her deep down, if she's matured...
She's always... Yeah, like
that's where I'm trying to go.
But roots.
If she's matured, she's going to stick to that because I feel like that's where her safe zone is. And this is a perfect track, even though it's not written. But the thing that made me like this song a lot more was the music video because it's so peaceful and loving and
it's
kind.
Fun and well thought out.
It's
like something
really good video.
It's a cute video.
Yeah, it's a good video.
And I like the message behind it because she's not. So this is where I was going to disagree with you in the intro with, like she's embracing her image, even though her image was ugly and shitty.
Yes.
She ran and she's instead of like other artists like not talking about their past, she's openly admitting, look, I was an idiot when I was younger.
And it's really emphasized on the point that like nobody stays the same. I'm not expected to maintain this image. I am supposed to be changing, and y'all should just get over it.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't say that she's trying to like.
Okay, then I
she's not
misread
trying to
this
like erase it. I'm saying she's trying to distance herself
I don't
from it,
think
and
she's
that's not me
distancing.
anymore.
I think
because
that
I've changed.
Yeah, no,
is what she's trying to say.
Okay, if you're saying like change,
Yeah.
but I don't think she's distancing it.
But
I think
I
she's
do-
openly embracing it,
So-
saying this is who I was. Look at me and look at the
Yeah.
beautiful butterfly I've become.
But then there is so I actually like the fact that the music behind the song progresses and it almost varies every 4 bars. Like it keeps changing, and I really really like that. But there's something about the way that this album was mixed that hit me bad in the very beginning. This isn't Miley. This isn't the musicians behind it. It's just the overall feeling of the final product of this song. And I feel like her vocals feel squished or like she
Calmed.
like it's almost like maybe it's her as a performer. Like maybe it is, but there's something like this song needed an explosion or some passion. I mean, this is a huge moment. Like it's so, but like, or maybe she's trying to sell that I'm zenned out or whatever. But
Well,
like, I felt like the vibe of the song for what she was saying and the music and the feel, it all just kind of ended up on a little bit of a lackluster. And for me, it's like it was the mixing. Everything felt too energyless or too squished together. Like there was no breathing room.
When
It
you
was
have
like
a DJ that's about to bring the drop.
yeah.
But the drop never happened.
That's it, and I felt because this is really the most bangery song on the album, right? Like, well, the rest are all really
There's another song
they're all a
on the
lot.
We'll go through them.
For the most part, they're all very country leaning. They're all very, very
Yeah, okay, I
laid
see what
back.
you
They're all
mean.
very, and this one's the most electronic, I think.
Because when I was
like,
picturing all this music on this thing, sorry to cut you off, but a lot of this felt like a romantic comedy soundtrack.
yeah, it did. It was very safe. And I mean, I
that's a
do
good
I do
word.
like the message behind this track. I like the message. I like the melodies. It does feel a little lackluster in terms of a lot of the performances.
But the weird part is I actually enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. It's a good song.
I thought it was a well-constructed song. I respect the song.
Just missing
But
the
if I have to take in the part where I already am not feeling this kind of music and I'm already not feeling the engineering, I was left with a 3.5 on this one.
I give it a 4.
I gave it a 4 too. It lost the mark for the drop because it was such a thing that like it was there, like the whole song was it escalated and it just like there was no
It feels
pop.
like there's something coming, especially because it's the first track and it kind of starts off
and it's
like
the title
this,
track because a lot of times the title track is like the third or fourth
yeah,
song.
and there's this like quiet happening and it comes in slowly and it builds and it builds and it builds to kind of nothing.
And the entire way through, her voice remains the same level
Oh,
of energy.
But
Yeah.
I
And
just
that's
want people
part
to
of
know
it,
that
right?
we're not
Like-
judging her story.
No, that's it.
We're
So like,
judging the music.
I'm
And-
judging her story a little bit.
I'm not judging her story at all. I'm looking at it like, in fact, I
Rage
don't
Against the
even
Machine.
think this is Miley. I think it's more the engineering or the decision making of the team behind Miley that kind of stifled it. Like, yo, you make good Zen music, and it's like, you know what? I kind of want to see her explode a bit because I think she can kill it.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
And that's part of what made Wrecking Ball amazing is that at the end, I came in, and then she just fucking freaks out on the track, and you're like,
party is-
damn.
like say what you will and say what you won't about whatever she's released in the past, but this one just kind of feels like she's phoning it in a little bit. Like
Okay.
there's no real artistic flair here. Like it's music. It's good music, and she is, she's a singer. She can sing. She's got a very smooth voice, but she's not taking those risks the same way she kind of used to. There's no oomph. There's no charisma behind
Is that
a lot
because of
the...
her, or is it because she's doing a different genre of music, or is it because we're used to a certain
But like this is like she started off as kind of like a kid country singer, right? Like following in her dad's footsteps,
Yeah,
and then she was
but-
kind of like, I don't want to do
But
this
maybe
anymore. I
she
want to
doesn't.
like.
Maybe this is new for her, and I'm just trying to speculate a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like
This is
she's
her
so
off the
far
drugs.
out of her comfort zone that she's testing the waters, and the next album's gonna be
But
like.
And that's
the
what I'm
thing,
kinda hoping
I don't
for. I
know.
feel
I
that
don't
too.
know about that. See,
'Cause,
that's
like,
where
it's
I
not
disagree.
bad.
Because I don't feel like she's testing the waters. Because I feel like this is her. I feel like this is her identity.
Keep in mind, she's only 24, right?
Yeah,
and
that's it.
she's done a lot of different.
And-
like her last
and
album is
we just
the
gotta
most
put-
like Pink Floydy, weird, drug trippy. The album before that was like bangers, just full of pop hits. The one before that was super kiddie and super country.
Yeah,
and
but-
stuff
I'm going to
like-
the next. I want to see
I
that.
just
album,
gotta
the
say,
trippy album.
perhaps part of what impacted this album is that she was so distracted in Malibu.
As we're walking, I'd spend
Malibu, not the alcoholic drink.
So apparently, I
That's
discovered.
what people thought.
I don't know. No, I did not think that. I figured I discovered that. Is it Liam Hemsworth? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I guess.
Liam Hemsworth
The
lives in
brother of
Malibu,
Thor.
and they have gotten back together. Miley, because that was the Wrecking Ball guy, and she's just kind of like in this moment of just being with him, and like kind of in like this happy place where they're finally together. Like she never believed she would get back together with him, and she's just in Malibu, and like she just saw the ocean for the first time because she comes from Nashville and never really saw the ocean, and it's just. I got this sense of what I really like about this album is this raw honesty into where Miley is actually at now. Like, this isn't the trash in terms of lyrical content she was putting out for a while. And when I mean trash, I mean mass marketed. Like, that's not who you are. I don't know who you are. I know that that's what you want to do.
She was kind of just like regurgitating hip hop bylines.
Yeah, like
ad nauseum.
Like, I believe you more that you want to dress like a Elvis old 50s type than that you're going to be bopping off with J's and shit. Anyway, I really like the sweetness of this song. I thought it was calm. I thought it was like I could just see how. Yeah, that's fine. You can go next. I could see how like it follows through with almost the exact same singing style, almost the same calm feel the whole way through the song. So like for me the credit is really, it's like this is an album of relatability. I feel like the people who have gone through similar experiences, who have kind of been in her shoes, are going to think this is the greatest album in terms of being able to relate to the messages behind these songs. But like when you think about the music and compare it to like a lot of stuff, it's still kind of weak, unfortunately. So I gave it a 4 because I thought it was definitely better, but it's still like it's not engaging. Like it's kind of like that party song she wrote, like it's my party, we can do what I want, whatever. And it was just kind of bland, and you don't remember it, and that's why I can't even remember it now. So it's like it's good music for the exact right context where it makes sense to listen to, but I just can't see myself coming back to it. Like I still put on songs from that Kesha album, not to compare, but just to show that it's not because it's out of my scope. It's just it's so lackluster.
Okay, so Mina, yay! I actually enjoyed Younger Now. Now, when we got to this utterly piece of shit song, I did not enjoy it. I didn't like even the music video. To me, like I was hoping it would bring me into the song, you have a better understanding. Yeah, I get that you were with your fiance, you had a breakup, it was a free fall, now you refall in love. Yes, thank you, genius lyrics. As much as I could, I just didn't care about the song. Like it went from a very slow song to another slow song, and I understand this is her basically saying, here I am Miley now, I'm not Cyrus. Maybe Cyrus is the screwed up person and Miley is the young and loving girl. I'm just kind of make two different personas.
Right.
So like I really just didn't care about this track. I wanted to skip it, and I had to listen to the CD 3 times over. So this is where I wanted to be Kurt Cobain and shoot myself. I did not enjoy this at all.
Still too soon.
I'm not saying hang myself, so be happy.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. Just go on, Jay.
No, it was like I to give it a mark, I gave it a 2. It was so bland. So now you said.
So I actually really, really like this song. I heard it the first time and I was like, damn, like this is a Miley I can get behind. No, I dig it. It's really, really, like it's really carefree. Fuck off, guys.
I'm just bamboozled by this particular portion of this review. Keep going, Syd.
It's like really carefree. Like I really get the sense of just like being on a vacation that's well deserved, well earned after like a long. What do you mean?
It's everything. I'm looking at his lovely smile. I'm listening to your passionate review, and I'm just like, I want to jump in and disagree with you. I want to argue with you. I'm like,
shut up, Jay. Let him finish.
His vacation.
Let him finish.
I don't care about your vacation. Make music.
Go, Syd.
I like the music too. You dick.
Okay,
Goodbye,
keep going. Keep
going.
going.
It's almost like a track like Weezer, Island in the Sun, or something like the Beach Boys might do. Like it's really poppy, and there's not a lot of meaning behind it, but there is at the same time. It's very similar to the first track lyrically, I think. I like the delivery on this one a lot more. It's a lot cleaner. I feel like they didn't fuck around with effects.
The lyrical quality is significantly improved on this song.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Keep
the Beach Boys?
And
Jay, relax yourself. Keep going.
I didn't.
That's too soon.
Like I didn't feel it didn't build. but it didn't have to. Like, it kind of stayed the same level through the entire track, and that was kind of the point. The music video is stupid. I get that it's kind of supposed to be like she's with the guy and the guy is behind the camera and she's kind of being all sexy for him, but it's a dumb video. It's really dumb.
The last time we had a girl like this behind a video, we
Okay.
got One Night in Paris.
Jay,
You know,
that is just Jay.
I'm sorry.
But the song gets a 5 from me. It's solid. There's nothing
Oh
wrong with
my
it. It's a
gosh.
great radio hit. It's something you can put on at any time. It's perfect for any occasion.
I don't.
So well done,
see
Miley.
how...
You got 1.5 out
Okay.
of Sid, even
So-
though you got a 2 out of Jay, and Holden hates you.
Well, I
But
gave you a 4, and I don't hate you. I
No,
just
but hold
don't
on.
Like...
What do you
You
want?
brought a great
What do
point.
you
I forgot
want?
about it.
What do you
This is
want?
another single that I could honestly. I don't know how this was a single. There's way better songs on the CD that should have had a single. That had
So
a
you
music
know
video.
what we can talk about then?
Rainbowland.
Yeah, because we're just moving on. Dolly
Oh,
Parton.
I can't wait for this.
Rainbowland, where you and I go hand in hand, where I belong.
I'll go first.
Jay wants to piss off.
Jay is excited to piss off people. Go ahead,
No,
sir.
I'm not actually. I actually enjoyed Rainbowland a
He
lot.
wants to anger every country fan
Ever.
on the planet.
Well, I'm going to
Currently
because
alive.
I feel like Miley is the younger, new Dolly Parton. This CD, this song especially, they're very similar. It's her godma.
So,
Like she grew up with her music and like
Godma.
Yeah, I said it like
So-
that because you got to be country. Why not
So-
chew my chewing tobacco and vote for Trump?
If-
So this, yeah, I said that. So I really did actually enjoy it. I like the flow. It's so like 70s, 60s country music. And, like I felt like I was listening to when you're watching Family Guy and you go to Conway Twitty.
no.
Okay, I don't know
Sure,
where.
just-
I was thinking more of the scene where like Peter and Quagmire sing about a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Have you ever put
Butter
butter
on
on
a
a Pop-Tart?
Pop-Tart.
It's so free. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
see
one.
that too. A lot better now. But I feel like this is gonna be a skit on Family Guy eventually. Instead of having Conway Twitty, you're gonna have Dolly and Miley singing about a Pop-Tart probably.
Yeah, and the voicemail inclusion at the beginning
I
is
didn't
like
enjoy it too much.
it's a little weird. It feels kind of like, okay, this is Dolly Parton. She's old now and she doesn't know how to use technology. So let's add that at the beginning of this
How
song.
dare you?
But that's
How
what it
dare
feels like. It's
you.
like, oh, I got a flip phone.
Dolly's amazing.
Okay.
I know you're not insulting her, but I love Dolly. I grew
Having
up with
said
Dolly.
that, this song is incredible. The harmonies are just so
But
tight
that's
and
the
so
only-
alive. Like, you hear Dolly Parton just come in with this expertise from years and years and years of doing this, and she is just so natural. And so,
She's gorgeous.
you just sit back.
I can't. I'm sorry.
No, but this song is great. I don't know if you guys gave it grades yet. I'm giving it a 4.5.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm going with it. A 4.5. And the reason being is I would have kind of hoped they would have let Dolly had a solo in the beginning.
Yeah, fair enough. but-
And then have Miley come in, and that could have been like the passing of the imaginary torch, and it could have symbolized the song a lot better, and that would have made it a 5 for me. That's how that's my vision of it, and like I'm even being generous with a 4.5, like because I'm only giving it a 4.5 because of Dolly's on the song, and that's it. And I don't care if people are just like, oh well, he's not fair with the review. Well, you know what?
Jay, I don't think you're
I don't
ever
care.
fair with the review.
I am all the time. Like
mean,
my
I think
last
you're,
one
like-
was perfectly fine.
You're just kind of like, yeah.
yeah,
no.
the one about your favorite band was perfectly fine.
I give a lot of hard marks on that one.
That's
Okay.
true. You gave a couple of
No,
fours.
I mean, Jay, it's not that you're not like you're just fickle sometimes. I
stick
have to
with what
say
I
though,
say.
so I haven't
Thank you,
actually
Linda.
like talked yet on this part.
Oh,
so-
hold on.
Oh,
I'm gonna cut her off. Lindell, you need to fix your little comment because I searched for that Stevie Wonder song or CD and I couldn't find that. So you need to help me out. I'm giving a shout out to Liddell. You're awesome. Thank you for the comments. We love you here at Rockin' Beards. And I'm gonna let Holden speak finally.
yeah. Because what I wanted to say was I find it crazy how when Jay tries to piss off country singers, he says one of the most insightful and probably accurate things he's come up with on the entire podcast. Oh, that's right. Sometimes you should let me talk. And I think it's fairly fair that she's trying to live up to her role models, or because as we know later on in the album, her dad is a source of inspiration. Spoiler alert.
Oh, do we only know that now?
Anyway, and
Not very
and if you
people.
really like think about it, like it's kind of like I don't know. I don't really like the song myself because it's country and
Oh, but
it's
it's-
kind of whatever. But I respect this song and I respect what they're all trying to like do with it. I don't really think it would have made sense to necessarily have Dolly Parton overpower it. I think like the voicemail thing. What I got was the sense of like this familial hey Miley, I'm so happy you're finally like wanting to work with me and like letting me come in, like you're lame enough to let your cool mother show up. That's kind of like what I got.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then the song comes through and I'm like, first of all, lyrically, it's super profound. This is the fluffiest, and not in a bad way. I mean, like, in a deliberately interesting way. The fluffiest, like, protest song I've come across in ages. It's like, we
Protest
could,
song?
like, it's an anti-racism, kind of like we should all love each other. The life should be better. Like, if you
From what
really...
I read, this song's about her booth.
No, that's what the name of the song was inspired by.
Ah.
But it's more like they came up with, hey, it's like Rainbowland. Imagine Rainbowland, where black and white people didn't hate each other and shit. And, you know, that's kind of where they were going with it. And I really appreciated that part of it. I kind of liked how they blended together. It's so not me. I did give this a 4 because I believe it's one of the... I like the poppier side of the country because it makes it... better, but like Dolly Parton's a legend, and I get that. I like the Jolene song, and like honestly, I put her album on, and I'm like, it's well-made stuff I don't like, so I don't listen a lot to country, but I appreciate what happened here, and I like this one.
And I would just say again, like in terms of delivery, I think Miley lives up to Dolly on this one, which is nice to hear. You don't have to agree.
Not delivery, it's a genre.
So yeah, my any kind of like bad grade I'm giving here, it's
Like,
because
look, Dolly shines obviously, even though her voice is mixed farther in the back because it is Miley's song.
oh, and then there's
But-
the outro where they just talk about that. They talk about the mix might be bad, and if you don't like it, well, maybe we can write you that love song about that boy, and it's Dolly at the end.
Oh, is that the okay?
So like,
I was a
yeah,
little
I think
confused.
that Dolly kind of was like, hey, this is what it is, and they were kind of. I feel like this was just trying to show that Miley's coming home.
But yeah, and the voicemail, I felt like she would never have done that on any of her last couple albums. Like, you get away from me, old people. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And I get what you're saying, but it still kind of feels like it's a really weird 180 to the safe side. And the voicemail, I don't know if it was planned or not. It probably wasn't. It doesn't
thought it
feel
was
like it
so
needed to be
cute.
here. Yeah, it was cute.
But like,
But that's it. It was cute. And
but
it
like
was,
for me, because I'm honestly like not into this stuff, it's hard for me to go. Does it make sense or not? I don't know how to really evaluate this properly. But when it comes on, it kind of fits. Like it kind of like almost makes sense for the song. It isn't like obtuse. It isn't out of skew. It almost could be part of the song in the way that they delivered it.
So would you say that it was weak without you, the voicemail?
Looking back to that soundtrack of every other romantic comedy out there.
Yes, well, I like this one. It's totally. This is the scene in a romantic comedy where
When they
like
break up.
they haven't broken up
They're
yet.
about to break
They're
up.
about to break up, and she's, imagine if I was single, I could go out there and make out with the hot guy at the club again and get some attention because my man is not giving me attention. And then I could go hang out with my friends on the beach and relax and just be stress free because my
Malibu.
man is stressing me. I don't know.
Malibu.
Anyway, that's what look,
Jolene.
this song was totally not written for me. I respect
No
that.
shit.
Like, it was not at all written for me.
It was
But
written for Liam.
I really happen to like it, actually. I don't think it's an incredibly amazing, change the world song, but it's got this sweet innocence to it. It's not even, like, malicious. It's more like she's just kind of daydreaming of what her life could be like if she finally stops putting up with this shit. And, like, I could see how this is a really great album for a certain group of women out there who are going to love the message being put out there and are going to find inspiration and strength in this. And that's where I'm, like, lost because I'm not ever probably going to connect to it on that level. It's just not the kind of life I've ever lived. But I like what she's doing. I think it's another sweet... Like, honestly, I like this Miley. I mean, I might not necessarily like her music
It's
that
too
much.
mellow.
Her music to me so far, equal level of flat as her older stuff. So I'm not hating it or loving it anymore. It's still flat. This is the fourth song in. We're still at the same... Like, it's like there's no energy. There's no death. It's just in the middle somewhere, floating. I'm okay with that.
It's like purgatory.
Because then when you take the image and all the other things into consideration, it really is just a nice, fun, simple song. And I I know like Bonnie likes a lot of these nice, fun, simple songs. I don't understand it. I've never understood that
Wow.
type of music, but she's really killing it in the nice, fun, simple song category of life, and I can appreciate that. So I give it a 4.
You know what's messed up? So, I just thought about this in my head right now. Like, when you think of music and you think of the months of the year, this suits September and October.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
especially in a Canada or in a fall state, a state that has, like, fall, like the season fall.
I can see that.
And I'm starting to think about it. I'm like, this is so calming and peaceful. And there's nothing wrong with that type of music. It's just, it's kind of boring after 4 songs in.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, I could put this at 50 on a sound system and it would just same the same tone every single song.
Yeah.
There's no pop, there's no bang, there's no nothing. So it's, you know, what's that instrument there you get to have tune, a metronome?
Metronome keeps the rhythm.
Keeps the rhythm, and I'm feeling like I feel like this song and this CD so far is just on that rhythm. And it's not upping the tempo, it's not
Like
going
it's
down.
on, it's on 120.
It's a
It's staying
standstill.
on
Like I was
120
saying,
kind
like
of
it's
thing.
completely static.
And like I feel like right now she's kind of losing me and it's flatlining.
But that's what I meant when I said like I felt like she's not really the artist she could be on this record. Like
I feel like she's being held back.
I feel like she's kind of holding herself back. Like
Yeah.
but when you said that like her next record or her next few records she might engage in something new, jump onto like
Well, maybe
like a
this
little
is-
more rock or
maybe
a
this
little
is-
more country.
This is
on this
Miley's
one,
country, yeah.
but on this one, it really feels like she's in the middle ground between country and pop rock, and she's not really taking a side
And what's the
type of
scary
thing. Like
thing?
it is very much a country record, but it's still deeply rooted in American pop. And it's really pristine and it's really clean and it's produced like candy, right?
I feel
it's
like
bubble wrapped and
she's,
it's
like this is the country version of a Taylor Swift CD without the cool Taylor Swiftness.
yeah, kinda.
And
Kinda.
the
It lacks the
problem is
personality.
that-
Like again, I like this song. It's fine. The groove is good.
know what
it doesn't
it is?
offend me.
It's so personal that it's like because it's a very personal album, right?
Yeah.
And I've noticed that when people make personal albums like that, there tends to be less focus and consideration on maybe the overall how good are the songs, and so much as this is what I'm trying to do with it. And I find myself, all of my like arguments seem to be I like what she's trying to do with it, not necessarily these are the best songs.
Yeah. And I mean, again with the performance, like it's fine. The song doesn't really go anywhere. Again, like it's a groove and it's a country groove and it's cute and you can dance to it and that's pretty much it.
You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
So
What?
You can dance if you want to, and you can leave your friends behind.
So would you
And
guys
yeah.
give it?
Oh, hold on. I just wanted to make one last thing. Even though she's trying to be neutral and trying to show us all this stuff, right now it's not doing it. And you know what's the sad part to say? And this is probably the thing that's going to get me the most in trouble. Even though this is so boring to me at times, it's probably the best female country CD out there in the last 2 years.
That
Or 3
I
years.
think every single person on the internet is about to disagree with you.
I don't
How
know
about
that.
this, internet? You tell us what's a good country female-led CD instead of making this
In the
negative
last
thing.
5 years.
He said 2 the first
He said
time.
two.
Yeah, I'm
So
giving
we'll
you
stay
5.
with your 5. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna say none of these
Linda.
songs. Have you guys given grades? Did we
No,
do
I
the
didn't.
grades? Give your grades.
It's the song. I'm stuck between a 3 and a 3.5. You guys give, and then I'll decide.
I already said it way back.
You gave it a 4, yeah.
2.5.
I'm gonna go with 3.5. Just
I
to
have
tip
to
the
say-
scales a little bit.
Just because I'm holding this in.
Just
for
because
a
I want to
minute.
disagree with Jay.
All right. Basically, none of these songs so far have left any kind of impact to make me want to miss them so much.
I can't see the name. Can you repeat the name, guys?
Miss you so much.
So I miss you so much. So from an unedited review we saw, if it's actually about this and it's about the death of one of her friend's boyfriends, I actually didn't like the beginning
Well,
of the song.
it was just to be more specific. It was about the death, one of her friends' boyfriends died, and it's the idea of the memory living on, kind of like through the music and the words and the ideas, right?
So whenever she's feeling lonely, she can listen to this song. Blah blah blah. So, I'm just kidding. That's my doucheness.
Anyway,
No, I didn't like the beginning. It's too bland. I understand this is supposed to be a sentimental song. It has that deep emotion, but it's not my genre. But then when it finally picks up, and the sad part about it, when it picked up, I would say about 3/4 after, I finally did enjoy the song. And sometimes that can save a song. You got to remember, you're trying to catch an audience, and I hope this never becomes a single, because if this becomes a single, it's a waste of money.
it's 5 minutes, right?
5 minutes too
So I do think the likelihood of it becoming a single on this album is not as high. But
unless they edit it.
it is the longest song on the album. It's worth throwing out. And I agree with you. I think that it does take a while to pick up. For me, this song is cute. And even if you cut out the if the friend is dead, it is a devoted love song. Like, she has put this person full focus, like, to the point where she's referencing God and faith and, like, how this person is their deity. And, like, I can see how somebody like Miley Cyrus, even within her own relationships, would throw herself so blindly into a moment like that, where anybody she dated, she gave that kind of devotion to in those moments. So, yeah, maybe when she's single, she does what she does, but I don't really feel like Miley's the type to
But it's
go
such a
commit
drastic
casually,
change,
right?
no?
No?
It is a
What?
drastic
No,
change from
seriously,
what
man.
she used to be into now. Because I just
I don't-
remember the people going up and just grabbing
it's
on her
also-
strange, and now she's just like.
Well,
I'm
consider
not
it
that
like this,
sweet.
man. If I'm in a relationship, I'm not really going to go do a whole bunch of stuff. But, like, literally the day after I'm single, I'm on Tinder back trying to, and then I'm I'm a complete slut. And then I calm down, and then I meet somebody, and, you go back in, and it's where you're at in your life. I think it's almost like it's just the natural progression of what most millennials are actually doing in regards to dating and how their worlds look. So I like the fact that she's showing us that even if it's about the friend or not, Miley still put this song together where she's showing the depth and the magnitude of this one side of love, and it's really honest and pretty and stuff, but it's still kind of flat and boring and fits in
What'd
with
you
the... I had a 3.5 because it's longer. It doesn't have a lot of energy and soul, and it's a really specific kind of song.
3.5
And
too?
I'm not really in that vibe right now, so it was hard to relate to it. But let's say I'm ever, like, heartbroken and stuff in the future. This is a breakup song, man. This is some singy stuff, loss kind of. It's beautiful in that moment, and I'm just not
Yes,
there.
I mean
There's
there
way better breakup
are
songs.
songs. Yeah, that's it. There are songs that do what this song does better. And look, I don't know what the meaning is.
Jolene.
I'm
Jolene.
sorry.
That's not
It's a
a
great song. I'm
breakup
sorry.
song.
I'm sorry if someone takes offense to anything I say here. I really felt like the song is boring and too long.
But did you find out at the pickup it was better?
I guess.
Because you gotta remember, 3
I mean-
minutes is somewhat seconds of shit, and then you finally get some slow, like, glitter on the shit.
I mean,
And
look,
sprinkles a bit
the
better.
song picks up, but it's so shiny and so scrubbed and so produced. Like, and I feel like there is emotion behind her singing on this track, but it's kind of like
Shit.
sanded down.
See, that's what I was commenting on the engineering. in the
Yeah.
past. I
I see your
do
point.
feel
And
there.
like again on a track like Malibu, I didn't feel that. I felt like she was able to breathe and sing, and I felt like on this track
But
it
I
was
feel
really
like this is how I see the engineering. It's like the engineering team, and maybe I'm wrong, had like a default setting on how they were going to approach the songs, and regardless to what the song sounded like, they used the same approach
Yeah.
on all 11 songs.
I see that because it works on some of them better than it works on some
And
of the others.
I think I was confused just to clarify in the lyrics of her devotion to God. That might actually be on the next song. So just to clarify, this is still about devotion and love, but just kind of more the essence and the purity of it, less her involvement, more just the idea of it. And then this is the one with the line like, "How can I miss you so much if you're right here?" And that lyric made me think a lot, because it made me think of all those times I've been like lonely in a crowd of people, or you've been sitting right next to that person and your world's a little different. And
Yeah,
and I don't know. It kind of made me
What'd you give it?
feel sentimental.
I'm giving it a 3.
Okay.
It's too long, and it doesn't merit its length, and it never gets to,
yeah,
But I mean,
but that's 5 songs in, and 5 songs it's done that. So it's par for the course. Even if the song's designed that way, it is par for the course. Anyway, did you give a grade, Jay?
I give it a 3.5.
Okay, well, just so you know, I would die for you.
I love you too.
When you're gone, time moves so slow.
So yeah, like I was saying, in the last song, it's another song of her kind of looking at love, and this time it's a lot more. I think I got confused between the two, so it's a lot about her devotion.
So that says something.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, come on,
I mean, it says something
but
about...
it's 2 songs in a row that are essentially focused on the theme of deep, unending, passionate, like pure love.
Yeah.
Which is sweet, and it's like interesting. Like they're not bad subject matters or anything along those lines. But back to back, it's a little hard to follow, and she maybe could have placed them a little different, but maybe she's going for a flow. I don't really know.
Maybe there's a story. Maybe this is the story of her life and her breakup with her ex, and she's trying to lead up to something
But
better.
she's already gotten back together with him
No,
on
but maybe
the album.
she's trying to... maybe
She's
they
in
broke up
Malibu.
multiple times.
No, from what I understand, they broke up, and they recently got back together, and now they live together, and everything's
And they're about to
dandy
get
again.
married.
Follow it in Teen Vogue.
Well, this is the
Cosmo.
Googling I did prior to figuring out what a Liam Hemsworth guy was, because I had never heard the name before in my life, so I was curious. Is it Chris?
Chris Hemsworth is her brother Thor.
I know who Thor is. Anyway, so
Chris Hemsworth is her brother Thor.
whatever.
I know.
So, I mean, I really like this song.
Who is real.
I like this song from like a lyrical front, and again, I like the intention behind the song, and it's one of those songs that makes you go like, man, I want to date a girl who would feel that way about me. I'm not even gonna lie. That idea of somebody being able to die for me, because that's my metric of success. If I would take a bullet for you, you're in that group of
So
people.
you want me to catch a grenade for you?
Of course,
Yeah, we're not doing Bruno today, okay? Give it another
I
year or
want to
so.
do Bruno.
Jay, I would put my hand on a blade for you. Anyway,
Sid?
You won't do the same.
I wouldn't.
but I would throw my in front of a
Ouch.
train. Anyway, I'm saying this song was a
Full
3.5
system.
though. Why? Because ultimately, even like when it tries to pick up, like we listen for the drums come in for whatever Syd's gonna say, but like we're listening for it, and when it does change and pick up, it's just kind of like, oh look, nothing changed really, just a couple more sounds but the same flow, and I don't like that part. But it was short. It was like
The sad part is I kind of agree with him, and I hate agreeing with Holden because it's more interesting when we don't. It's just really bad placement in my opinion. It's too boring.
the
And this
halfway point.
Yeah, and this halfway point is just like, it's halfway too much already. Like this CD could have been 6 CDs, and I would have been complaining. I mean, 6 songs, and I would have been complaining. It's just too bland. It's like there's no. I'm actually looking for a blender effect, and instead I'm getting like lukewarm bad soup. And like some of the songs are great and they're written well.
So savage.
But no, it's like it's so similar, and it's like I kind of want her to like throw her strings around and jump up in the air and do some really crazy shit, and instead I'm getting like, here's your bologna sandwich. And don't get me wrong, bologna is great, but I've had it 6 days now and I don't want bologna anymore.
No, I mean,
Ugh.
I don't necessarily. How you expressed it is whatever, but like the sentiment is real. This is 6th song in the row of the same lunch.
The only good thing about the 6 songs that passed, we got to hear Dolly once, and that's it.
So I actually almost wholeheartedly disagree with these guys. I do agree that the placement is a little weird, but I disagree because I didn't like the last song so much. Like I feel like if they'd taken out the last song and just had this be the middle point,
Agreed.
I would have liked it a lot more. In terms of just the song on its own standalone, I think this is a little bit of a breath of fresh air. Like it's a little more naked. It's a little more alive.
If it was naked, I enjoy it.
I made them skip back to the beginning of the song so I could hear where the drums come in because I also mixed it up with another song on the album. So I mean the drums that you can tell he's playing with brushes. It's very subtle. It's cool. The guitar line is cool. This is instrumentally one of the cooler tracks on the record, which is interesting because it's the shortest. But I like the way that her voice gets to breathe a little more on this one. And like I've had more to say about this track than almost any of the others, so you know, this one is definitely musically a lot more interesting. So I gave this one a 4.
All right.
2.5.
Yeah, I guess we're all thinking different things.
Way too much. I've been thinking way too much. Oh, yeah.
I want to start this because I don't like this song. And I say, look, it's just sometimes y'all. I've been trying to talk less and be more courteous today. So check it. The beat is probably the first time I felt life on this album.
Mm-hmm.
The first time. Her vocals, unfortunately, don't match the life on the beat. And then I think that the songwriting, even with a couple of cheesy lyrics here and there, has been a game the whole way through. Like the lyrics on every song has been profound, honest. Like, it fits my criteria for what a good song could kind of be about.
And that's all he cares about, so that's a lot.
It's like
That's saying
my
a lot.
primary focus of like stuff, right? And then the music and stuff kind of builds around that. So for me, that is really what my focus is. And then we get to this repetitious old pop nonsense, whatever here, and it's like I kind of like the idea of the song. It's her paranoia when he's not answering her texts and stuff, and her brain starts racing, and she's thinking. And I don't know if she was just trying to like sell rumination. Because that is kind of maybe the idea, like, oh, I ruminate a lot, so let me repeat myself a lot. And I'm like, that's not that clever. Not the way you delivered it. Like the way Kendrick delivered rumination on that song or whatever, where he repeated himself. I'm trying to like compare how rumination or repetition can be done right on a song in Lust by Kendrick Lamar. Because it's the only example I could think of this year where it wasn't boring. Everyone else has been trying to do this repetitious stuff. And I just find it kind of weak. Like, you've actually proven to be adept. You could have done a little less repetition, a little more unique content, and I think I would have liked the song a lot more.
A little more action.
But it was a 3. It was just kind of like, at the end of the day, there's nothing for me here, except maybe an okay beat. Because it's not the greatest. It's just the first one with life on this album.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and honestly, like, when it came in, I really thought that I was going to like it. Like, it does have a cool little dance floor beat, but I just the lyrics and the vocal delivery are just so dull on this one, like so dull. Like there is no hook. It's na 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 like that the whole way
sounds
through.
Like that
just kind of
Kylie Minogue song.
Yeah, but like even Kylie Minogue did it better, you know. And this is just kind of like hammering that over your head for not 4.5 minutes, but like 4 minutes that just feel like an eternity. And I'm going to say something that I said off camera. I call this the Maroon 5 syndrome, where, like, Adam Levine used to sing, like, on their first few records. Like, you could hear his voice, and he had, like, movability and, like, breathability, and he had, like, a lot of great runs and a lot of soul. And then they turned into pop stars, and now it's just the same phoned-in, repetitious... It's not atonal, but it's almost atonal in the lack of substance that so I gave this one a 2. I really didn't like this song. Jay?
So fine.
I really like the song. She was blah blah blah, and I give it a.
Go on.
It's okay.
Fucking bored.
This one finally gave me a boner, and I said that.
Oh my god.
I listen to this song in the dark, and that's what I do. I like to jam out in this music and enjoy myself. And I'm finally part of it.
You were learning a lot about Jay's private life today.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it gave me an ear boner. Like, it finally excited me. Because it was
I can
fun.
put my hood off.
Like, I don't know. I was at this point, I was so blah at this song. Like, the first 2 songs, whatever. Like, okay, I'm getting introduced to this album. Got Dolly. I was all happy. Then it just went to shit. Shit hit the fan, or a monkey, like, picking shit out of his ass, throwing it at people. And I was, like, bored. And then finally, I'm like, oh, woo. I'm like, yeah.
Men talking about Miley.
And I was jamming to this song, and I liked it. It like made you bob your head. Like on the drive here, I was listening to the CD, and this is the one song that stood out again. And it wasn't boring.
It definitely stands out because
It gave me a
the
boner.
beat has life.
Now it stands out.
Yeah.
Like,
But I don't know.
if I ever hear this song again, just like Jay's face, this song gave me an ear boner.
Yeah, that's it. I enjoy this song. Yeah, he can make those little stupid comments. Like, I really like this song, guys. And I really did like the song,
I
guys.
know he did.
Good.
So
what
I gave
did
it
you
a 4.5.
Okay.
Wow.
All I'm saying is that grade put me in a fucking bad mood.
I'm in balance and too many things. I always wake up and I'm
I liked this song.
I like this song too.
I like this song 3.
I like this song 4.
I understood this song
Fine.
because I know what it's like to wake up in a bad mood because of the frustrations of life, and until my coffee kicks in, that is my life.
Yeah.
And that's it. That is the morning between like my first alarm clock
Your
and
morning
coffee.
wood.
And that period of my life feels like that because the overwhelming frustrations, and you can really get this sense of her trying to deal with things, her not really wanting to deal with people, her lack of compassion, and knowing that it's not really like a permanent thing, but she's just like, I've explained this to you, leave me alone. And like, just she's clearly not a morning person, but she's trying to wake up in the morning. And that I can relate to more than anything else in this song.
The one thing I will say though is that there, like a lot of these songs, I know you've been saying that they're very relatable, and like I agree to a point.
To people, not necessarily me.
So what I think is there are like again this one I can relate to waking up in a bad mood and needing that coffee, right? But it's the part where she kicks in with like there's something about like she turns it into a love song. Like everything else gets turned into.
See, I don't know
it's
that.
because of
See, I don't think it's really about the love song. I think it's more her trying. This song to me. Okay, listen. I hope Bonnie doesn't watch this.
Bonnie watches.
When Bonnie wakes up in the morning, she is a terrible monster of evil doom that will scream at me. She'll get like violently, weirdly vicious in the morning, and then an hour later, I feel better. I had coffee, and like I feel like it's a matter of actually her trying to write some kind of like an expression of this is kind of who I am in the morning now that you live with me and we're grown ups and stuff.
I'm sorry I'm a bitch in the morning,
And
but
maybe
here's your
in a
sandwich.
sense that it is kind of a bit of a love song like that, but I kind of get where she's coming from. That is what her morning is.
I got the sense that it was like I wake up in a bad mood because all I can think about is you or whatever, or like I wake up in a bad mood and I don't care about anything else because you're not here or something like that. I don't know. Like, I felt like she had to relate everything to a relationship or a significant other. And you don't always need to do that as a songwriter, right? And I feel like she's just missing that barrier to break through to be
I
a
think
great
for her,
songwriter.
this is just where she's at in life, and that's why we're getting a lot of it.
Fair enough, but... And I mean, maybe it's just that I don't relate to that, but there was a lot of that on this record. There was a lot of, like, I can almost relate, like, it's almost an everyman thing, but, oh, you went and did that. You know what I mean? And, like... I really do like the track. It's a great track. It's got a thumping beat. I am a thumper.
4. This is like the first one that I've given a 4 to in ages.
Yeah, I'm giving this one a 4.5. I like it. I like it a lot. But I just feel like, in general, she's missing that step of just being able to write about something without having to bring it back to the basic pop standard of, I need to sing about a lover or a past lover or a bunch of lovers
You gotta
or whatever.
remember, she's 24, and her experience is being a Disney child brat. She doesn't have much life experience.
Well, I don't want to say that.
After a point, that stops being an excuse. You know what I mean?
That's
but that's
true.
why she has to go
But I
out.
think that's where I'm saying her next, because I think 24, 25 is that breaking point where
just
you
hope
start
she
changing
doesn't-
in the modern world.
I hope so.
In my
I hope
opinion,
so.
like for real, if we were to think about this logistically, you don't really become a growing, mature adult in our society until you're 25, because in theory, you're not even in like the proper norm of things. You're not even expected to move out till you're done university in your mid-20s and things like that. Like we've just pushed back the adult age, so it makes sense that this is her first real attempt of like a coming in age thing, and often it starts with love. So
Fair
for
enough.
me, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I think it's a matter of
Keep
our
us
ability
together.
as like I'm almost 30 and not a girl going through romancy stuff like that. So my ability to relate to a lot of this album and the lovey stuff is harder. But I remember being 24 and 80% of what I wrote was about love. So I can also see how that evolved in my later 20s when I was able to start learning more about the harder things.
But I mean, again, and I hate to keep bringing it back to Lady Gaga. It's only the second time, to be fair. But I mean, she came out with her first record and a song like Telephone, which was literally just about stop calling me. I'm having fun while I'm out. You know what I mean? And she didn't have to equate that to a relationship.
But it was good.
Or like Just Dance. Like, I don't know where my phone is. I don't know why you call. Like, I'm really drunk and I'm on the dance. Like, it's things that people can relate to. They're not
just to
necessarily the
counter
most
it,
serious.
And then if you think about paparazzi, it's kind of like her whole thing in the beginning was a different niche that she did play to death.
But I'm just talking about as a songwriter, she was able to come with those wider sense, that wider sense
Well,
of
I'm
relatability
actually-
and that wider
Well,
sense
that's
of like
because
this.
she focused. I think at the beginning she focused specifically on get lost in the music, party vibes, and honestly, it had the same level of variance as this album on a different subject.
She was younger than Miley
Yeah,
on this album,
which is
what
fair,
I'm
but
saying.
just-
And I mean, what I'm just using it as an example
like,
to say that like just because she's 24,
always-
that doesn't mean she can't
Lady
already
Gaga,
be.
as you pointed out, is more of an artistic genius who's more about a movement, and Miley's not that.
No, but it's not. Look, all I'm saying is, it wouldn't have been the most difficult thing, I don't think, to have one song that wasn't
The same thing.
stuck, roped, and attached at the chest to this is about a relationship.
Yeah, the first track was not about a relationship; it was about her past.
In your face.
I'll fight you.
No, but that just
We'll
the
go
first
back and
track
listen to it again.
and the last track. Those two tracks are not directly about a relationship in any way.
Peanut butter jelly.
So she had two. You're right. The placement, not wise, but there were two.
That's my whole argument.
Holden's
on
wrong,
this
Jay.
Holden's not wrong. He's a musical genius. Come
Thank
on.
you. Boom. Album came out yesterday, motherfuckers.
His album came out yesterday. It's pretty fucking good.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's like
To Miley.
this one.
So, can't really say much more than these two fools have. The only thing that's bothering me is
Hold on, you called me a genius and a fool in the span of 20, 30 seconds.
I don't mind. I don't care. I counter myself all the
I
time
do what I want.
because I'm a big boy now. Okay, there, Cartman. So, I just want Miley to get bukkakied. I'm just fed up with this shit.
Okay.
It's so boring now.
Okay.
Like, I don't understand this. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I have no filter. I'm just like, I want her to do something.
Okay,
It's
we got
so
it. What'd you give it?
bored.
What'd you give it?
3.
All right. all
Why?
right.
Why am I getting censored?
It's okay. Or you can love someone in the future, Jay.
Packing all my shit and moving on.
Jay, how did you feel about loving someone?
I actually wanted to love someone. Now, I was actually really happy after being bored for a couple of songs, and like we're way past the halfway point, but like, the interesting part now is, I'm just like, where did this energy come from? We're finally, even though the lyrics might not be the greatest or
They're
the
pretty
things, we're finally getting to a point where it's actually bearable again, and it's weird, and it's like, whoever made the song placement. It's like, okay, let's make all the shitty songs in the beginning and put all the good songs at the end. And that's weird. Like, wouldn't you want to mix up, even if you're trying to tell a story, maybe if there's a story and something deep meaning and I'm missing it, and after all the ridiculous comments I made, and I have to do that to keep this review going because I was bored. Like, you can't really say much about a girl who's broken up,
I
was
can
a
say
whore.
much.
Yeah, well, you're not me.
But that's what I'm saying. The subject matter is all
The same.
The same.
And
not-
like, I
and it's
feel
delivered the
but
same way.
This is the
I'm
90s
saying-
to me.
See,
in a
I see.
movie.
I'm disagreeing
understand
with
what I'm
that.
trying
The
to say?
subject matter of like this song, you know what it is?
I feel like
It's
I'm watching
like
a Freddie Prinze movie from the
Yeah,
90s.
exactly.
It's like we're
it's
taking-
it's a teen movie
Yeah,
soundtrack. That's what it is.
Maybe you're right, but I'm not. It's not as static as you guys are making it sound. Like this song
But
particularly.
you gotta remember, you're an artist. I have no
No,
musical talent except for
I'm-
listening to
I'm
music.
paying- I look at when I hear lyrics, I can't help but apply like literary analysis mode, right?
But that's exactly what
So
I'm
I'm
saying.
looking for the subject matter, and yeah, the theme of the album has a lot of romance on it. So the theme, agreeing with you.
It's a rom-com.
But the specific subject matter of love someone is like she's living with this guy, tired of his shit, wants to bounce out, doesn't really know where to go. You're right about the rom-com. We're not even disagreeing there. But the part where you're like, to me, it's like she did it really well in terms of varying the subject matter on this album to sell the story of the rom-com. It's not bad. It's just, if you don't like rom-coms, I get where you're coming from. And I think that's more what we're touching into. But if you really look at the thing that impressed me the most on this album was how she was able to approach very minute specifics on each song to kind of explore the more global thing about the complicated love relationship she's
See,
been dealing with.
But can you understand, as a person that with your specialty ability and as a rapper and lyrically, because rap is all about the lyrics and good beats. Like, you have to.
Well, if you look at the pop world, it's not
trying
necessarily
to-
being
I'm
a rapper
giving
that
you-
gives you that anymore.
But I'm giving you a compliment.
I appreciate
But
it.
that's what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm gonna let you have your moment.
Okay, thank you.
No, but the thing is, my only point is, you got to look at the everyday person's perspective at times too. And if it's an everyday perspective, I go buy the CD, by the 4th track or 5th track, I'm like, this is boring. Then, if by some God chance you actually listen to the 6th and 7th song, maybe the 8th song, you're like, what the hell? Why didn't you mix some of song 1 with 8?
Which is
you know?
fair.
And that's
but
my only
we're-
complaint.
But like that's
my only complaint.
I agree with you guys in terms of the sound. We're talking about specifically the lyrics.
What I'm saying is, and when I review music, this is what I always do. Look, I'm a writer too.
I
like,
understand.
When you're listening to music, not everyone is gonna go and look up all the lyrics and analyze everything, and they're gonna take it at face value, because that, and especially most people who are gonna pick up a Miley Cyrus album, right? Because if you're picking up a Miley Cyrus album, it's something you're gonna put on in the car, it's something you're gonna put on in the background. For the most part, it's not.
I'm gonna say that like the Miley Cyrus crowd's a lot more like the Kesha crowd. They're the people who were 18 and are now 24. So they're a lot more with her and feeling this.
What I'm saying is, in terms of the subject matter, it all feels very similar. Even if there are minute differences from song to song, even if she's taking it and putting it in a different context, it's still
But we can
all
make the same argument
very much
about
the same.
Concrete and Gold. It was very much Dave Grohl's epiphanies about the world being
But it
fucked
was,
up.
I don't want to start talking about the Foo Fighters in a Miley Cyrus review too much, but that was a lot more abstract. and it was a lot more about being human versus being in love.
And in this
And,
case, I feel like it's Miley Cyrus finding the humanity of being in love. I think it's just like
I'm just saying she talks about it too much.
Maybe
She didn't have to do it for nearly every song.
Another-
And look, I like this song too. It had a little more of a rappy vibe. It was a little more loose.
it was really great.
It's
Yeah.
a good song. I
It's
gave it a
4.5.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4. But another thing is,
That's right, I finally gave a grade higher than y'all.
the thing maybe that's making me not believe her and not trust her in these songs is that she's 24 and she's young. And I'm sorry, I don't take people at 24 realistically. Like, I don't believe in your love problems. I'm like, you're still
think about-
discovering yourself.
Like, this record does feel very much like a rom-com, and there are good rom-coms, and there are by-the-numbers rom-coms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there are good relationship records, and there are by-the-number
Yeah, but
relationship records. And, like,
I feel like in this case, I see where you're going with it, but Miley's life happened to be the plot of a rom-com coincidentally, and even if she was writing personally and being honest, it would just kind of be by the numbers due to the
but
trajectory.
even if it's by the numbers, you need to be able to tie people to your story, right? There has to be a relatability there, and I don't
just
feel
guarantee you,
that.
all three of us are totally the wrong demographic for
No,
that
but
relatability.
I can relate to to a lot of music. Like, I can relate to some very silly pop. You know what I mean? Like, I can relate to
Agreed.
Hilary Duff's "So Yesterday," for example. That song is still an anthem
But
for
we're
me,
talking
believe it or
about, did you
not.
put on the album? Did you actually go through every one of her songs? Did you actually see the variation?
I'm talking about the song. I'm just talking about
But
the
that's what
song.
I'm saying is, if you look at a lot of this style of music is highly focused on love.
That's okay.
And that's what I'm saying is
But do I buy it? That's the thing. Am I buying the CD?
I personally would have loved to have seen more subject matter explored. But I'm impressed by the diversity she put into how she explored this because, dude, I gotta consider, I did like Lil Uzi Vert's Love Is Rage 2 and a few of these other rap stuffs. And when you start looking at some of these younger rappers who do pop off 20 songs about literally the same thing, this is fucking paradise in comparison.
But for example,
Of
the song
course.
like "This Could Be Us" by Ray Sremmurd, like, I relate to that song
I'm
more
talking
than I
hold
relate
on.
to
But
a
we're
lot
talking
of.
about
Wait, just-
albums. We're not talking about.
But I'm talking about songs, because this is a collection
But
of
the
songs. This album
conversation-
has no story. It's not a concept. It's a
Again-
collection of pop tunes. And when you're talking about a collection of pop tunes, the thing that's going to hold
Yeah,
them
but-
together is
But
relatability.
to
and
make
and
this a fair
differentiation.
comparison
It is a
would
story,
be
we just
like
don't know it.
I put on the whole Ray Schwimmerd album and I found they were varied because we're comparing an artist, the same artist putting out 11 songs.
Is that
We're
Black
not
Widow?
talking about like random whatever to go and like be like I relate to that song. There are definitely 2 or 3 on this album you were like I related to. So she's fitting in having that moment of creating.
I
that
said
thing.
could have related to had they not veered off into this, like, I need to attach this, like the Bad Mood one. Like, I could have related to it. And again, I like the song, but had it not veered off into this, like, I'm in a bad mood, you know, because you're not here. I'm in a, like, no, you're just in a bad mood in the morning. Write about that. Bruno Mars wrote the Lazy song. It was literally just about being
I
lazy.
hate that song.
I love.
I love that song.
I think it's the
I-
worst song.
That song is incredible to me. Like, that's the
Oh.
kind of song I would have wanted. And this is where we disagree, I think.
I know. To me, it's just
I guess.
that is the Bruno.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to Bruno Mars because of that song for a really, really, really long time, just because of how much I
Like,
hated that
I
song.
listen to
Just
Bruno
don't
Mars because of the lazy songs like Liquor Store Blues, where he's literally just writing about, like, I go to I go have a shot on a Saturday night and a cigarette, and that's what helps
Yeah,
get me
that's
through.
an okay song. The Lazy
Like-
song was boring.
Nah, I liked it.
The
In my
lazy song to
opinion.
me is just
In
like,
my
I need,
opinion,
because I can
internet's-
relate to, I need a day sometimes where I'm just going to ignore my phone and sit in my underwear and do whatever I want, because I need to turn off from the world, and that's that relatability.
He made
I
a song
didn't
that
need
it's
to tie
cool
it
to veg.
But at the same
Exactly, and I didn't need to tie it to, like, I need to veg because I'm in a relationship. I need to get away from that. No, I need to get away
there's
from
still
people.
the first song on the album that is not that subject matter of
We will
relationships.
go back to it because I'm pretty sure that there's a lyrical tie in there.
Guys, she's not him.
She's not him.
So this track is okay. Just because I had to look at this a minute. So she dated a chick after the Liam guy, and then the chick was the rebound girl.
She kissed a
And-
girl and she liked it.
And basically, with the rebound girl, she hurt her because she realized she's not him. Hence the title. She's
went
not
back
the
to
guy she was
Sausage.
with, and she broke this girl's heart. And this is like a by the numbers kind of rebound. I feel bad for you song, but like with this special niche of it's a girl to a guy comparison, which look, I feel like the song was I mean, I want to call it pandering, but it's probably like a truly what happened to her, so it is honest. But
I feel like she's just trying to like to
It's-
say her sorries without going through that whole thing.
but
of
it's
saying
almost
sorry.
like
I don't care about you scissoring your girl and being sad about it. Like, get over it. Move on.
well, no, I mean it was more the guilt of hurting this person the way she was hurt by the last person because of blah blah blah, and that's more what the song's about. Almost has nothing to do with the sex. It has everything.
No,
to
I'm
do
just
with,
being stupid because I really don't care
I
about the
know.
song. Like, I just don't like at this point. It's like, it's too much of the similar shit. Like, there's no like pop off.
Well, this is like the first one that progresses the love story in any real way, shape, or form. There's at least another element in it. This is a serious variation. I mean, it's still a love and
but how many more
relationship.
songs do I need to know that she loves Liam?
This one, like, I could have done away with 3 others to have this one. Like, I like this one.
This one was good.
I don't mind you.
I mean, it's a
liking
fun-
I'm glad you don't mind
No,
that.
it's
I like
cool.
it.
I
I
like-
like the
like,
last one
it's-
more,
But hold on, I'm not knocking the song itself. I'm knocking the fact that we've had 5 songs about her unconditional love for someone, and
That's
she's
not what this is
apologizing.
about.
And then
well, I
she's
guess it kind of is what this is about. You're
that
right.
she's
Yeah.
apologizing for having experiences and going crazy and doing all this stuff. Look,
I
you were
agree. It's a
young,
lot. It's
you were
a lot.
wild. We've all done stuff. I
but-
think everyone has done something different. I've never cheated on a girl,
That's
but
what I
I've
was saying when
like,
I was
broken
like,
up
do you
with a
remember
girl
earlier? I
half-assed.
was like, this is a personal album for her. She's not actually trying to create her fucking masterpiece. She's using this album as a sense of therapy to cope with her emotions and to get things out.
But she didn't
It's-
have to do an album. She could have dropped.
I
off,
don't know.
something
Well,
small.
I mean, that's the kind of thing where I don't agree with that. I think that it's important to see people writing albums like this, even if this isn't the best example
That's
of
why
this album.
I agree
type.
with Childish Gambino's train of thought now.
I
Where he
can't
doesn't want to
stand
make.
it. I hate the idea of killing the album.
I think the album is killing
And
because he's got shit like this.
and just to counter it, he's doing a group album with somebody else, so he's full of shit. He's clearly not giving up on albums. He's
No,
already
if
signed
he's-
up
wait,
for a
if-
group project.
If he's doing a group project, it's not his album.
Look, if it's you and somebody else on an album, like, okay, so you're not doing a solo album anymore, kind of false marketing, in my
I don't know
opinion.
about that. I disagree with
But
that.
like, to me,
Free ABBA.
I guarantee you that, like, if I were a completely different demographic or at a completely different place in my life, I might think that this album, because it drills in this theme so often and explores it so deeply, gives a certain type of person dealing especially with relationshipy shit something to play with. And in that theme, look, we can say there's a bunch of better songs about it, but how many songs from Miley Cyrus, this hero to so many people, are there about it? And she has to, I think she's trying to embrace her role model shit and things like that too.
I guess. Look, I'm just gonna stick to the song. I like the song on its own merits. It's really good. It is really emotional. This one I could relate to a little more, just because I feel like this story is a singular insulated story worth telling. It's a very human story. It's something we all go through. Like, I'm with someone because I'm trying to recapture the magic of that last person. And I really do like this person, but I can't fall in love with them because they're not that last person. Like, I can relate to that. I think you can relate to that. I think you can relate to that. Like, anyone can relate to that. It doesn't matter what your gender is. And that's the kind of song that I'm looking for. And I just feel like a lot of the other songs tried to be that. But, like, this one is that.
Yeah, but
It
you
nails it
could-
very, very well. And, like, I give this one a 4.5 as well.
But just
I-
like the last song is about being in a
I
relationship.
gave the last song a 4.5 as well.
I know, but
Didn't
I'm
I?
saying just
That
to like,
mood- oh no, the last song was Love Someone.
yeah, you didn't. I'm saying, but thematically, in terms of relatability, the last song was kind of like, I'm tired of your shit in this relationship, and I'm not really sure how to break up with you. Super relatable. Many people have gone through that. I'm just saying, if you're looking for it, you can find the relatability in a lot of these songs. Anyway,
You have
moving
to
on.
look for it.
Yes, but you have to look for it in a lot of music.
So what'd you give it?
Mediocre music. 4.5.
Yep.
We're talking. I give it a 4. I mean, this is
3.
Miley Cyrus. We are
3.
talking about a girl who we previously described as a mass-produced pop star. This is freaking gold for a mass-produced pop star.
No, it's remarkable that she's able to have a different train of thought instead of one of those cheesy, slutty shits. And she's able to be more mature. And I
Yeah.
give her that, and I'm glad.
Anyway.
But I can say that I'm not inspired by this song.
Yeah, I saw you go and get it. I was gonna.
Come on, you're the handle on the door.
Okay, so what the genius told me, because I just want to throw this in, and I could be wrong, is that Hillary Clinton was talking about her dad a bunch during the campaign, and Miss Miley Cyrus was reminded of how she was younger and found inspiration of her dad, and wanted to write a song for Hillary Clinton to inspire Hillary Clinton through her inspiration of her dad and the relatability, and she wrote this song right before she campaigned a bit with Hillary. And it's basically like we need to change the world. Things can't stay the same. And it's like there's nothing. It's almost like it's so absent from the love and everything that you were saying we wanted that it feels so weird at this point on the album. It's like love, 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 change, change, change. Let's change the world through a political song for Clinton, and it really feels like it's
How
some
did that work out for
proactive.
Clinton?
That's a long other conversation, but like honestly, I really think it's sweet. It's well made.
Pointless.
I really like the fact that it's got that like sense of change and etc. etc. It felt so weird on this album, like she just stuck it in because it
It
was
should have
already
been on
kind
the
of
Deluxe
famous.
edition, like an extra song. Like
Agreed,
DVD.
100%. But I think it is in and of itself a pretty good song. I give it a 4. I understand that it's cheesy, that it's whatever, but it's kind of what I'm expecting from Miley Cyrus is cheesy. You know,
You should check out her last album.
I was not inspired by this
Check
song.
it out.
I will definitely do it.
Like, if this song's all about inspiration and inspiredness, it does not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
but-
song starts out with the lyric, "I am on a train."
Yes, I've
Whoop,
heard
whoop.
that like 8 times
Really?
today.
I'm on a boat. It was a great
Because
song.
That was
it
a good
merits
song.
it merits repeating that this like that's a parody of music. This
It's
is
just, it's still a good song.
music.
But like,
That lost a point and a half right there.
sure.
That's dumb.
Like, I'm sorry. The rest of the song is
Meh.
boring. It didn't need to be here. Like, she didn't need to. She could have ended the record on "She's Not Him." It would have been perfect.
How would you felt if this was an extra on like a bonus song?
I wouldn't have listened to it.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
but
you had to
like,
because we had to review it. So
If we had to review it, I probably would have stopped at "I Am on a Train."
nah, but like it's.
I'm gonna- Click.
I don't know, man.
Look, I think that it really does. It is everything you were asking her to do, just on the last track.
but it's just a
It's
boring
not,
song.
yeah, it's
I know.
not right to be
and
like,
maybe it just goes to show that.
the
I mean,
She
it-
can't do one without the other. Like,
no. But she's not in. I feel like Inspired was like she was trying to make a difference, and for a minute she was in that place, and she's maybe not the most. She's still in that point of like philosophy of change and
I
shit,
think she
where
needs to have a life journey.
where like she understands that things are not okay, and that we should all be living a better way. And it's the same thing in Rainbowland. You could tell that they see this ideal and that things should stop, but have no idea how to go from the world is fucked up to the world is a better place. And it's reflected in a song like Inspired, where the best thing she can do is have faith things will change.
so I think on this, like, this record as a whole feels to me like
Feels.
she hasn't. It's not growth. It's more a continuation of what she was doing before she got sidetracked by drugs and fame. But it's not like an upward continuation. It's more of
Just a
just kind of
lateral switch.
exactly. And again, my whole point has been, as an artist, I feel like, and yes, she is young, and hopefully, but I feel like there's a barrier that she hasn't broken through yet. Like this
Oh,
this record is
I
I
very
gave this
safe.
a 4, by the way, that track.
You gave it a 4. I gave it a. I don't even know, man.
I'm gonna give it a 3 because of the musically she sounds really good.
2.5. I am on a train. Fuck you.
Okay,
But like,
so we're on the album summary. Go
Yeah.
on, continue.
so that's it. I just feel like it's a decent album. There are some good songs on it. It's not a stellar album in terms of country. In terms of country, in terms of pop rock, in terms of just pop in general, it doesn't have that electricity. It doesn't have that fire that makes me want to go out and scream from the rooftop that Miley is the next best pop artist,
Like we were doing with Kesha.
like we were doing with Kesha, which is an incredible album. You really should go listen to it. Oh my god.
Rainbows.
But that's it. This album just feels, a lot of it feels very lackluster and very by the numbers and very rom-com, but like not Love Actually rom-com, more like
Right.
Legally Blonde rom-com.
So I love Legally Blonde. I gave this album a 3.9. I think it was a really great rom-com. Honestly, like, it is flat in terms of the music side of it, but from like Miley's performance and like my vision of Miley on this, it was pretty solid. Like I could listen to a lot of these songs if they came on. Very few of them had me going like, I want to turn this
But
off.
like, have you not heard better performances from Miley?
No, not many.
Really?
See, that's
Actually,
the
no.
thing. A lot of us
Like, that's the
a
thing.
good point.
We
actually.
didn't
More
realize-
emphatic
Hold on.
performances.
We didn't
more like,
listen to the Acid album like you did. You gotta think about it. So I don't have her whole discography. I have a lot of lackluster, flat, kind of boring Miley songs in my head. Occasional, like Wrecking Ball is it. It's the only one I've been excited by her. And so when I get to this album where it's almost an evolution on Wrecking Ball, it's like this entire thing is Wrecking Ball Part 2.
So, I actually enjoyed it. I gave it a 3.25, and then because I liked the country aspect of it, and that was pretty much it. The pop aspect, I didn't see it. I saw more country and flatness. Like, there wasn't that popular side of music that people think.
I will say she sounds more at home on the
And that's
country
what
tracks.
excites me. But now I feel like she should get a house. She shouldn't be living in L.A. She should be living in Nashville and embracing this.
Yeah.
Like she
Fair
should
enough.
be like rustling cattle and doing stuff.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be rude and put her and womanize her and make
Well, it's
anything.
not. It's
but
like,
I
it's
think
like
she needs.
valid point stereotype comment.
Yeah, I don't
It's
care.
the
Well,
formula.
well, people can fuck off if they don't like my attitude. But like, you know what the problem is she had her experience and we got to see that she was trapped in a Disney star child body and she broke out of it and she's like, I'm gonna go crazy and wild, and she went too far, and now we see that she's being tamed, and she's not being tamed, that's wrong, she is taming herself and she's showing a much more softer side of her, but unfortunately it's not giving me any excitement.
Like, it's not a captivating side yet. It's not a. It's
No,
I feel like
it's-
she's waiting to pop
it's-
out some kids and
it's
live a
kinda
house
like what
warming
happens
life,
to a lot of
and
these pop
that's
star types
perfectly
who.
fine. But
It's like it's the part of the journey where she's trying to gain back control of her career from the other
But
people,
is-
and it's kind of lame for a minute till it turns into amazing.
But let's wait and see.
And that's
so
it. We're
that's
at the
why she
part-
got a 3.5. 3.25 is because I'm actually gonna wait and like in 4 years if we're still doing this and God willing and we're amazing and we have to review another Miley CD, we're gonna come back to this episode,
It'll
watch
probably
it.
be
and,
less than 4 years.
well, I'm just hoping it's 4 years because she
Probably
can
be
get
2
more.
years.
Okay, 2 years is great because if
she's
she
a
comes
pop
out,
artist, let's
if
be
she
honest.
comes
so
out with
yes,
another
Jay
song,
will come back and bump the next one, but this one wasn't good. And how did you give it?
I'm giving it a 3.
Ah, whatever. I thought it was pretty freaking great for what it was.
I love Malibu, man. Go check. Malibu's a great track.
Honestly,
Bump that
I
forever.
feel like if I were a younger woman, this would be my jam. The entire thing would be my jam. That's really how I feel about this album.
but that's what I was thinking. Like this is a
because you know
Sunday
what,
CD.
I feel like if I were a younger
Sid
woman,
and I were
I'd be-
talking about this review yesterday. Seriously, Sid and I were talking about this review yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, listen, if we're totally objective, we'll be fine." So I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna bring in as much objectivity to the table as I possibly could."
Well, you didn't really do that.
I absolutely did. None of my grades reflect my personal desire
Oh,
of the song. It was more, do I think it's good country pop? Anyway,
I'm like, if I were a young woman, I feel like I'd be listening to Janelle Monáe.
that
would be my jam.
Anyway, so anyone else got more here?
I'm excited. You should catch out these two guys' next projects.
Yeah.
Keep a view. You know,
Stuff,
like,
music's-
subscribe, message me wherever you can find us, and
Totally
thank you.
appreciate all y'all watching this. It really means the world. We love
It was
your
very
comments.
surprising last week with our other review. We
And
had
if
a
you
lot of
happen to
love.
feel like unlocking an achievement, like watching 3 people on a couch talking about your favorite band, that is so cool to tell us in the comments. We really like that kind of stuff.
Tell us how you feel about Miley. Tell us how you feel about Miley Cyrus and her dead pets, because apparently I'm the only one
Yeah.
who went back and listened to a little more Miley.
That's right.
Tell me how you feel about my
listen to
personal
me.
comments.
This record is an hour and a half. It's 23 tracks of just the trippiest
Right.
possible shit you
You've-
could
you've
possibly
said that,
imagine.
like,
Just
3
I know, but
times
you
in
need
this-
to listen to it.
Okay.
You need to listen to
Alright.
it.
He's
You
a
need to
Miley
listen
head
to
now.
it.
So anyway, thanks everyone. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and all that other fluff. We will catch you next week, and hope you're not too mean to us.
We're scissoring.
Bye.